Okay, examples 6 and 7 are going to use the natural base e. So e is just like pi, even though it looks like a variable, it is actually a constant. And just like pi, it's a decimal that goes on and on and on, but it's approximately 2.72. 2.718281828. That is just an approximation. It goes on, the decimal goes on a long ways. Alright, so anytime you see e to the x, we're using our natural base. You've probably heard of the natural log, which we'll deal with in the next chapter. But just a reminder here of how to plug this into your calculator. If we have e to the negative 2, use these keystrokes to plug it in, and you will get this answer, 0.1353353. So, knowing that, let's sketch the graphs of some exponential functions. We can use our tables here. So if you set up a table, you're going to get this. Now, I would definitely not do this problem by hand. This is a calculator problem, so let's look over our calculator and see how we can do this. We're going to have our equation, and let's just do the first one here. Let me clear this off. Y equals 2. E is right down here above the ln, and I've got 0.24x in my parentheses, and we want to have a table. So I'm going to use my table set, and I'm going to start not at 1, but you can see here that I want to start my table at negative 3, and then we'll count by ones. And if we go into my table, which is right above graph, so second graph or table, right here it's going to say, okay, negative 3 is 0.9735 or 0.974. Negative 2 is 1.2376 or 238. Alright, so this table here is just coming from the people in the book using their calculators to come up with this, and you'll notice the graph looks like this. If we flip back over here and look at the graphs from the books, we get the same thing. This is a positive number in the power, so our graph is going to take off. This is a negative number right here in the power, so our graph is going to come in for a landing here. It's going to decrease exponentially. Alright, so let's see if you can use your calculator to solve this one. Use the graphing utility to construct a table of values for this function, then sketch the graph of the function. So pause this, use your graphing calculators, see if you can do this on your own. Alright, so I'm going to plug this in to my calculator, just like you should have done. And so this is going to be y equals 3e, and then in parentheses, x plus 4. And we've got it there. Let's go to our table. Now I don't need to use the table set because I already have it set up at negative 3 from the last one, so we can go straight to our table. And here we go. Negative 3 should be 8.1548, etc., etc. And our graph is going to look like this. Right here it's taking off. And notice we could have figured out a little bit of this before we sketched it, because this is shifted to the left by 4. So typically it's going to start rising right across the y-axis. This is shifted over to the left by 4. And we know that because of the x plus 4 part up here.